I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I did. I had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I'm kidding. So, fun fact, I got new bookshelves from my bro. He's awesome. Love him. Sad fact, I filled it up already. And this is why I am making this video. I'm making this video for myself because we're about to go into a new year, and because of that I need to film this and then I need to watch it so that I see the amount of books that have not been read yet on my shelf, so that then stops me from buying more books, because I feel like there's no other way. I'm doing this thing where I have to read 5 books before I buy a new book, but that's really hard when you got Barnes & Noble gift cards for Christmas and you can go and easily go get more books for free because you have money to spend for books, and I can't do that because I have to wait. So this video, as much as it is for you guys to see, is also for me to see, so I can not buy books. Because Erica, if you're watching this, and I know you are, stop. It's a problem and you need to stop, okay? If people buy you books, that's fine. That's totally fine. But you know buying yourself books. So, as an end for this introduction, I'm going to show you all the books that I have yet to read, and I may talk about each of these books a little bit. I probably know nothing about these books because I just buy books, you know? Okay, let's get started. Starcrossed by Waa Fulkerson. This book is fantasy. It is the second book in a series. The author sent it to me almost a year ago. I have yet to read it because I am a terrible human being. Wildwood by Colin Malloy. I bought this book pretty much because the cover. I bought this book pretty much because of the cover. The Diamond of Drury Lane by Julia Golding. I don't know much about this book except that it takes place in a theater and there's like a mystery going on and like an orphan girl, and that itself sounds pretty cool, so I'm excited to read this one someday. The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I love the movie, so I'm assuming I'll love the book, although I read her other book called The Mermaid Chair and I hated it, so I hope for the best or something. Next I have Magic and Flight. This is 2 books in the Septimus Heap series or something by Angie Sage. I know nothing about these books except that there's probably magic involved, and I think they're middle grade. I think I'll get to them hopefully eventually soon. Who knows? Next I have Dark Star by Alan First. I don't really know anything. I think it has to do with a detective maybe, but the big reason why I got this book is that it takes place in 1937, and that was really ironic to me. You have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This has been sitting on my shelf for so long. I read The Evolution of Mara Dyer. I really enjoyed it. I really want to read the second one. Hopefully when I eventually get the third one, I can marathon the last 2 back-to-back or whatnot. White Death by Clive Cussler. I bought this because there's a ship on the cover and that is my weakness. And I know nothing else besides that, so hopefully I read it soon. The 13th Tale by Diane Centerfield. I know nothing about this book. I like this book because there are books on this book cover. Cannery Row by John Steinbeck. I love John Steinbeck. I want to read more John Steinbeck, so it's gonna happen. I'm gonna read this. The Killing Sea by Richard Lewis. This is a book about the tsunami that took place in 2004. It is a survival story. It also takes one of my biggest fears and just terrifies me, but I want to read it anyway. Missile Child by Ari Berk. This is the second book in the Undertaken trilogy. Can't speak. And I really loved the first one. It was one of my favorite books of last year, and I didn't get to read it this year, and that made me really sad. It's a ghost story, but it's so good. It's so good. Life of Pi by Yann Martel. I'm really scared to read this book because I hear that with this book you either love it or you hate it. So where I will be on that spectrum, I don't know. Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. I read the first book forever ago when it first came out, and I loved it, and this has been sitting on my shelf for quite a long time, and I really want to read the second book, so hopefully soon. Envy by Anna Godverson. This is a book in the Lux series or whatnot. I don't remember which one it is. It could be the last one. The Oversight by Charlie Fletcher. I remember buying this book because the synopsis really reminded reminded me of the Mortal Instruments, sorta, kinda. Mirror Mirror by Gregory Maguire. This is the guy who wrote Wicked, and I believe my cousin gave this to me actually for my birthday, I think. Anyway, I'm really excited to read this just because retelling on Snow White, and that is always fun and exciting. Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. This is the sequel to The Shining, and I want to drop everything just to read this book because this book has been eyeballing me for so long, and it's Stephen King. He's just fan-freaking-tastic. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I have heard nothing but great things about Patrick Ness, and I have yet to read one of his books. I started reading more than this because I was reading it with a friend, and that went to crap, so hopefully we read that soon. But this is another one of his books, and I really want to read it because everyone loves it, and someday. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This has been on my shelf for so long, it is embarrassing, and I really need to read it, and then I need to read the other books, and I need to immerse myself in this world because, I mean, everyone loves it, so I must love it too. Ripper by Stefan Petruccia. I probably butchered that, I apologize. This book is about Jack the Ripper, and that alone makes me want to drop everything and read this book too because I really want to read this book because it sounds so good, and Master and Commander by Patrick O'Brien. I really want to read this so bad. I really need a good sea adventure story, and this is it. This is it, and I want to read it. I have two Secret Circle books by LJ Smith. I watched the show and then it got canceled, and then I got very sad, but they had the books and they were on sale when I bought them for like 50 cents. So hopefully I get to read these soon. I really like the Vampire Diaries, although I didn't finish reading those books, but regardless, someday. The Den of Shadows Quartet. I have no idea what this book is about. It looks very angsty, very dramatic, very over the top, and I feel like I won't like it. Oh, there's like 4 stories in here. That was me being very judgmental. I apologize. This could be really good. I could just be, I don't know. Don't know. Curb Check by Zack Fortier. Zack Fortier. This is a true crime novel, and I am really excited to read this because I've never read any true crime before, so this should be fun when I eventually get to it. The Pirate Hunter by Richard Zacks. This is the true story of Captain Kidd. If I could read books just about pirates for the rest of my life, I think my life would be complete. And can you read the sarcasm in that? Because there's no sarcasm. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. Joyland by Stephen King. I don't really remember what this book was about, but it's Stephen King and that's all I care about, so it's gonna be fantastic. The Science of Discworld by Terry Pratchett. This is a book involving the Discworld series, and I think it talks about the series in general and whatnot. I really need to get the first book. I will. Whistling Past the Graveyard by Susan Crandall. I don't necessarily remember what this book is about. I think it's about a girl who goes on like a road trip to find her mom or something. The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I can't wait to read this because awesomeness. I have Aragon and Eldest by Christopher I don't know your name. Dragons are cool. The books are falling. Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. So this is like one of those books like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies or whatever. I read that. It was pretty cool. So this is something like that. Daybreak Zero by John Barnes. This is a zombie apocalyptic novel, and when I bought this forever ago, I didn't know it was the second book, so I still need to buy the first book. And once I buy the first book, then I could read the second book. I have Saga Volume 1. Everyone knows about these, and I can't wait to read them. Onward by Howard Schultz. This is a book about Starbucks because I work at Starbucks, if you didn't know that. Anyway, my boss gave this to me. I've yet to read it. I can't wait to read it though, just because it really fascinates me and I'm very interested. Go Eat Worms by Arla Stein. This is a Goosebumps book. I don't remember if I read this one, but it was like 25 cents, so I bought it. Wool by Hugh Howey. I forgot what this book is about. I think it's like apocalyptic. I can't wait to read it. The ratings are amazing, so yeah. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I can't wait to read this book because I just really want to read it, and because it's J.K. Rowling. House, The Only Way Out Is In by Frank Peretti and Ted Decker. I don't really remember what this book is about. It is a horror story. I think it has to do with a couple who get stranded and then are chased by somebody or something. Sounds really good. and I bought it because of the cover. I have The Blade itself and Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. I've heard nothing but good things about these books and I've been really wanting to read them for the longest time, and I really want to buy the last one so that I could just marathon through all of them because these books are calling my name. They are just calling my name. Cryptid Hunters by Roland Smith. This book is a middle grade book that has to do with dinosaurs, so I'm very excited. Come August, Come Freedom, The Bellows, The Gallows, and The Black General Gabriel. That alone, that title in itself is why I bought the book, so I can't wait to read it. The Feast of All Saints by Anne Rice. I think I won this in a giveaway a long time ago, and I still haven't read it. Hunting and Gathering by Anna Gavalda. This is a book that I have no idea about the story. The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I really want to get into this book series, trilogy, whatever. I've heard very mixed reviews, but I really want to read it just because I want to read it and see what I think. So hopefully sometime soon. The Commoner by John Burnham Schwartz. I have no idea what this book is about. I remember buying it though and thinking this sounds interesting, so hopefully I read it. I have 7 more books to show you, and these are books that I have yet to haul, so I'm not going to talk about the synopsis at all. I'm just going to quickly show you them because I'm going to do a haul and I want to talk about the books in depth in the haul, okay? The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prick Willow Place by Julie Berry. Alias Hook by Lisa Jensen. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. The Winter Ghost by Kate Moss. Decomposition, A Music Manifesto by Andrew Durkin. The Accidental Highwayman by Ben Tripp. And finally, We the Drowned by Karsten Jensen. Look at that cover. Look at that cover. And those, you lovely, lovely people, are all the books I have not read yet. I really have nothing else to say. But I'm gonna go and go cry in a corner. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go cry in a corner because there are so many books I need to read in so little time.